But where do you think all of those real dudes went?
The 90s?
You know, the real dudes, where did they go that we're in 2019 and we got one people checking people solo bolo?
Crack, prison, and simulation. And comfortability.
Well, I think so you take crack and you take prison, and that's one probably, but I think it's more the back end. I think
back end.
Financial prosperity of the 90s and comfortability into the 2000s.
Okay.
Because the people who had drug problems and incarceration problems, a lot of them, though there's a lot of long incarceration, a lot of them have come home.
Yes, they have.
So,
about 20 years.
But I'm saying, but a lot of them have come home at this point, and a lot of them, there's a good percentage that still have that same mentality.
Right
it's
on.
just that they came home to a generation of assimilation and comfortability. So when they came home on those same ideas and that same honor and that same now we don't do that, they came home to I got mine, now you get yours, money over everything.
Gotta get mine. You gotta get yours.
So the people who they came home to, like I think we always addressed like the civil rights era in the 60s, that adjustment of the 70s to the crack era going into the 80s and the mass incarceration part that goes to the 90s. But we leave out the puffy bling bling era of the 90s and the 2000s and how much of an influential effect tied in also with social media, how that changed the landscape of male responsibility in our communities. Because we have a bunch of dudes who came up in an era who were constantly being told money over everything, I got mine, you get yours, in an economy that even though on one end it was sending your people to prison, it was putting money in your pocket at levels that had not been seen. Going out of the middle of the 90s to the end of the 90s, it did not matter what you did for a living, you could economically prosper. If you were selling homes, selling cars, selling dope, you could make money coming out of the 90s. So you had a lot of brothers who was on their paper chase. And when brothers came home, 90s and 2000s, they wasn't trying to hear that. Because I had to get my money because you weren't here. And all that rah-rah you talking, 20 minutes later, you about to ask me for $20. So
shit, that's
you
real
had,
talk.
so then you had the folks that wasn't on no criminal stuff. They was getting jobs. They was all coming out of college. Because you remember the 90s, folks was getting jobs.
That's true.
And as much as we want to talk about certain, coming out of the Clinton administration, economically we were strong.
Yes.
So you had brothers that was getting solid 9-to-5s, sisters who was getting 9-to-5s, brothers who were gone, so sisters was going to college, getting degrees, everybody was getting established. You had the old generation that came home, the newer generation wasn't trying to hear them, and you had a disconnect. And so now you've got a generation removed, because these are the people who were adults in the 90s, the 2000s, who disconnected from the group before. Now these are the children of those people who disconnected.
Gotcha.
That's a wide margin.
And then also when you look
That's
at
real
it,
talk.
when you also look
That's
at
real
it,